What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today. And in these last couple of weeks, there has been an uproar when it comes to the Sepia Photographer or the Sepia Bride, either way it goes. Now, if you don't do photography or know much about photography, trust and believe, my comment section is full of photographers, and they are going to fire it off in the comment section. Now, if you don't know about this story, when it comes to this, I'm gonna give you a little backstory, then we're gonna jump in straight to the bride and let her explain it. And I'm gonna give my commentary as a professional photographer that's been doing photography since 2009. And I'm gonna let you know how I feel about it as well. But just to let you know, just a little insight on it, I'm kind of on both sides, right? When it comes to particular things, all right? So the backstory is this: it was a bride that hired a photographer. Now I'm putting some of the photographer work on the screen because that's going to be important, right? When you hire a photographer, it's a good chance you're hiring them because you like their work. Hopefully that's the reason why. So she hired this photographer and she didn't like the edits. Now she said that she loved the photos, and I'm assuming what she means is she loved how she was posed. She loves how it was captured, but she just didn't like the way it was edited. Okay. Long story short, her husband even got involved. A lot of different things happened. She started crying and she demanded the raw photos. Now she asked for the raw photos and she said she would pay, but she did not like the price on what the photographer gave her. Now let's just jump straight into this. All right, let's go.
Imagine paying almost $8,000 for a wedding photographer, and when you raised your concerns, they threatened to sue you for slander if you spoke your truth. So let's get into a little story time. So I found my wedding photographer on Instagram, like a majority of people in this day and age do. Her feed looked so bright, airy, but also had this goldenness to it, and I loved that. But the goldenness that it had still captured the beauty of like colors, blue, your skin tone, etc. You can see this is one of the photos from our welcome dinner party the night before our wedding, and it's a gorgeous photo, right? So this is when shit gets a little crazier. Our wedding day was overcast. Nothing you can really do about that. However, a photographer should know how to shoot in an overcast situation.
Now I'm going to pause it right here because she said a photographer should know how to shoot in the overcast situation. This is the thing. The overcast situation is the easiest situation. It's not a hard situation whatsoever. And I also want to touch on how she described the photos. Now, this is the reason that way of editing, and I see it a lot of times, it bothers me so much as a person that when I started, one of the most important things when it came to editing was skin tones. And it was making sure you do not mess up the skin tones while editing. But I see so many photographers that do, you know, golden hour, and even when it's not golden hour, they slap this little preset on there and they just make everything go. I hate the way it goes, but let's keep on going into it. Like I said, with it cloudy and everything, those are the best situations because you can shoot any type of way that you want to, as far as direction, because you don't have to worry about the annoying sun. But let's jump back into it.
So she delivered the photos, and of course, right away, I'm like, oh my God, I love them. I love every single one of them. I'm like beaming of excitement. And then for about 30 days, I'm staring at the photos and I'm like, why is there something bothering me? Like, well, I couldn't put my finger on it. Until I realized I'm a makeup artist, okay? I was a makeup artist in the wedding industry for years. And I did my own makeup for my wedding. And I'm staring at the solo pictures of me and I'm like, I kind of look really pale and my makeup isn't showing at all. Like my hair has these red highlights in it and I look extremely dull. So I raised my concerns to her and she goes, okay, I charge X, Y, and Z extra to edit photos. I'll edit them to like enhance your makeup and whatever. Great. So what I'm about to show you, the top photo she edited to enhance my makeup. The bottom photo was me in real life. That was my makeup shot on just an iPhone picture. What did she put on my lipstick? What blush am I wearing? Like what is on my eyes, my skin, everything. So then I raised the concerns to her and she so kindly said, you know what? I don't think we're gonna come to an agreement. So let me send you some of the raws of that moment. So when she sent me the raws, I noticed something. This is the photo that she sent me that I look like I have a black eye in. And this was the raw that I edited to have a brighter, more natural feel. And also I went into my eyes to make them brighter. Then I noticed this photo. This is what she sent me and this is how I edited it. Like, you could see the difference, right? Like the coloring, everything. To me, this is a better edit.
So let's jump into that situation right there. Now, like I was saying, when it comes to the way these photographers be editing these photos, you can even see it on the bush, right? Now, the raw that she gave, it's clear that, the bush is green and everything like that. Her style of editing, which I guess everybody's entitled to, right? So it's probably people that edit like this that's probably going to jump in my comment section and say they see nothing wrong with these photos. But everybody doesn't like that. Everybody doesn't like that. I see a lot of people that do that, but everybody does not like that. So I understand on what she was saying when it came to the way the photos was edited. Now, she sent her a raw photo. I don't know if it was raw. I think it was just unedited. That's for another day. But she sent her unedited photo, and this is what she came with. Now, honestly, I like the way that photo looked, but this is one thing you will always notice. And I have a video right here with me working with a makeup artist, right? And it was a disaster, right? So, and that's far as me shooting the actual makeup artist, right? I feel like they are just really, really picky when it comes to certain things because they are a makeup artist, right? A lot of people don't understand how things look after it's captured. They only see things with the naked eye, but that's once again a story for another day. So she wanted the photos to look the way the makeup did. I feel like she felt it represented her as a makeup artist as well, not just, the wedding and everything like that. And she is 100% right. Where she's wrong is I showed you these photos, me personally, I showed you guys the photos and she's seen these photos before she booked it. So that should have let you know something. Let's jump back in. Let's jump right back into this.
So that brought me to look in even further to every single photo and dissect everything. I then came to the conclusion that I need to reach out to her and tell her that some of the edits felt like they were a preset that was copy pasted and I wasn't happy whatsoever. Especially when I looked through further and noticed that the filter that she put made my teeth look yellow. Like, what is that? My teeth are white. What is that?
Now, sorry, just got to pause it right here. Photographers, okay? When you edit certain photos, will it change some of the whites in the photo? Yes. And I even have a free preset right here for you guys to use that I will link a video to or whatever. I have a free preset that you can use if you don't want to use just the teeth whitening in Lightroom. And you need to use that in order to combat for the situation once you start changing those colors around. You got to balance that out. That's on a photographer for one. On people that's not a photographer, what you have to realize is, see, this word preset, a lot of people get caught up on this word, right? So yes, you can use a preset. We use presets, we probably edit to match that photo. But let's say you don't use a preset. Even if you edit that photo, and we're talking weddings, we're talking events, what we are going to do is copy that edit and we will paste it to majority of those photos and adjust maybe exposure because we got every single thing right. And the only thing that will be changing from photo to photo will be exposure. So that is something that we do. Wow. So keep that in mind and let's jump on right back into this.
One last photo example. This is the ocean. It looks like we got married in Seattle. What is that? But again, it's a beautiful photo, I'm not discrediting.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Listen, I am an off-camera flash photographer. That's thing number one. Thing number two, you cannot, if you're doing natural light, I'm sorry, sweetheart, or whatever we want to call it. That's probably what you cannot deal with that. If you want to be exposed correctly and the conditions that was going on, that is what you was going to get. You weren't going to get that ocean. Now, if you had an off-camera flash or, if any type of flash was used to expose, right, and, do this other stuff, then sure, that would be a little bit different. But in a situation like that, where it's just photos like that, I don't really know what you thought you was going to get, but you got it. So let's jump back in. I don't want this video to be this long, but it's so many things that's just like, Anyway, let's go back.
Her ability to capture a moment, because that she was really good at, but it was the post edit that I was unhappy about. If you want to hear what happened in the rest of the story, like for part 2.
All right, so that's part 1 That's part one. Let's go to part two.
Part two on my wedding photographer threatening to sue me for slander. Let's go. So I decided to call my photographer after I wasn't happy with all of the edits that were sent to me, especially because it looked lazy and it was just a copy paste preset on every single one of them. I'm gonna show you a little video on just the moment versus the photo, just so you see it further.
Man, you look so good.
Where's this
photo too?
The photo. We look like we're in the Rainforest Cafe. What's in the moment?
Yeah.
Makeup,
Wow.
skin, everything. I look like I'm a Simpsons character. So I text her, I said, hey, can you call me? She's like, I'm available at this time. We speak on the phone. I'm about crying on the phone at this point, saying, I'm so unhappy. I need to make.
Now she had these photos for 30 days. You trying to tell me now she's crying? She loved these photos for 30 days, but now she's crying. Now.
Need to make my wedding album. Is there any way that I could look through all of the raw images and just pick out certain moments that I could then edit myself? I will sign any contract that you want, states that I won't share these photos. They're literally just for a photo album for my family and I, and for Michael and I. And I was practically like begging her and crying on the phone, just saying like, this is my wedding day. Like this would mean so much to me just to be able to get all the raws and edit them myself. I'm not happy. I don't want you to lift another finger, nothing. I will do all the work for you. She's like, you decided that you hired me. You knew my editing style and everything before you hired me, like too bad basically. So now I'm crying even further and my husband gets on the phone. He's like, please, my wife is so unhappy right now. Like, this is our wedding day. You're holding the photos hostage from us, basically. Like, what are you gonna do with our wedding photos?
Stop. Right there. That part right there. You're holding our photos hostage. What are you planning on doing with our wedding photos? Well, this is a whole video in itself that I can make. Long story short, for everybody out there that's not photographers, when we press that button, we own that photo. You don't own that photo at all. And we live in this world of digital photos that everybody just get these photos after a photo shoot or something like that. And they think that they actually own these photos. They don't. And photographers, what we are supposed to be doing, if we do decide to give digitals, is we're supposed to give a small digital, one that you cannot print, one that is web size, because photographers always made their money selling photos. You book us for the event. That is for our time there. That's for our time editing, but that does not mean that that's for the photo. You're not realizing that part. So back in the day, before we had all of this digital and it was all prints, and I'm sorry if I'm getting flustered, but like, come on. So what we would do is, yes, you will pay the photographer for all of that, and then you would get a certain amount of photos that you chose that came with that package for them to print, but you never, ever, ever, ever got the ability to have that film strip where you could go ahead on and print it yourself. You print it through them. So if you like this one photo and you wanted 3 photos of them, you paid him for that. He didn't say, here's all of the film. You can go ahead on and develop whatever you want. That never was the case, and it never would be. That will cost so much money in order for you to do. That is not the way that this goes whatsoever. It does not go like that. So just to let you know, you asking, what do you plan on doing? You holding my photos hostage? No, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. Let's jump back into this. I'm gonna try to calm down. Let's jump right back into this.
We're not asking you to do any more work other than just hand them over and we'll sign whatever you want. We even offered to pay her $1,000. She then says it's gonna be $4,000 for all the raw images. Okay, I understand that raws are never really given out for weddings and wedding photographers, but if I was a wedding photographer and my bride, the one day that she's meant to get married, the one day, and you're not gonna make sure that she's happy? What photos aren't you happy with? Can we select 20 of them? Can we just give you the raws of 20 of them? It will be $500. What I was willing to work on something like that with her, slams it down, tells me it's $4,000. Too bad, so sorry, you hired me. You knew what you were getting into. Well, no, I did not know that I was gonna be working with someone that wouldn't make sure that the bride was happy at the end of the day. especially when they have to do no other work.
Now, here's the thing. Like I said, a whole lot of backlash happened. She posted this on TikTok. So a lot of people started saying what they wanted to say in the comments. And she started responding to a few. And I just want to show what she responded to with this person that made this statement.
Whether or not her Instagram is showing that it's her editing style or not, okay? This photo over here with my eyes sunken in and I look like I have a black eye. Please explain to me how a photographer thought that looks good. Once I got the raw image, I turned it into this, okay, myself. I even had to go into Photoshop, and I'm not a photographer and I'm not good at Photoshop either. I learned how to use Photoshop and I circled my eyes and I made my eyes brighter. It's the simple things like that. There's only maybe 10 pictures of solo bride me, and she couldn't make sure that that my eyes didn't look like I got punched in like a black eye. You know what I mean? So there is something to do with editing style and versus the Instagram. However, there's also something about delivering photos to your customer that makes sure that specific person looks good. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look like she has a black eye. And look, at the end of the day, I made a mistake.
I'm going to make this quick. Like I said, I feel both parties was wrong in certain things. The bride was wrong, in my opinion, like, I don't know, maybe 80%, because it's clear that you don't understand photography. And it's fine, you're not a photographer, but you are a makeup artist, or you used to be a makeup artist. So I'm pretty sure you worked with photographers before, okay? Understand that. I try my hardest not to do many weddings just so I don't have to deal with Bridezillas, because at this point, that's what it is. But with the photographer, there are a lot, and I have videos on my channel. There are a lot of photographers that are preset warriors, right? They don't really know how to edit like that. They care about aesthetics. So since they have that becomes their brand, and that is literally all they shoot is that look. But all of these photographers are doing this. It is so annoying to see photographers out here that's just slapping a preset on something, and they mess up the colors and everything like that. And it's just them. They think that is art. They think that it's like, come on, do yourself a favor and learn how to edit. Okay, do yourself a favor. I don't think I would have been in that situation whatsoever, because I can edit like that, and I could edit a totally different way. Should the person have, it's not on the photographer to say, hey, this is the way I edit. Are you sure you want this? Because I'm pretty sure that photographer feels like nothing is wrong with their edits, and that, you know, that person came to them because they like that look. Usually that's how it goes. If you go to a person for anything art related, creative related, it's because you like that. I think that I don't get a lot of people booking me for weddings because I don't show that. I show more editorial, more fashion, more beauty. So when people come to me, that's what they expect, and that's what I deliver. If someone comes to me and they want something that I don't really do, either I suggest another photographer to them, or I let them know, hey, you know, this is more in line of what I do. I can try to do that, but I just want you to know in advance, you know. But that never was said to this photographer. Not only that, she said she loved the photos. Not only that, she didn't complain until 30 days later. If you ask me, I think maybe a photographer friend of hers was like, ooh, I think it was more something like that, and just start pointing things out. And that's when she started noticing certain things. I think that's what it was. But anyway, all of my photographer friends, comment down in the section below, in the comment section below. If you are not one of my photographer friends and you're a photographer, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you don't do photography at all, read those comments and let them know how you feel. But until the next time, I'm Ryan Troy. It has been nice. But until the next time, peace.